Good afternoon, everybody. How's it going? Got some updates for you. Just took the trash out and walking back to the house. Last week, I sold my 96 Corvette, known as Mouse, because now that we have the C5, I don't need two of them sitting around, and I don't have the garage space for it to do both. But I got a package in the mail today, and I was going to show you what they are and probably start installing stuff. But so we got some lights from Vette Lights. This box is going to be the tail lights. That one's going to be the marker lights on the side, and then this one's going to be the front corner lamp assembly. I'm going to try and get a couple of them installed today, and then the front corner lights actually are a little bit more complicated because of their location in the front bumper. Down there, I think you have to go like through the underneath somehow or down through the headlights or something, so I'm gonna have to do some research on that. But the tail lights and the side markers I can do, and kind of got with this magnetic red color, it looks good with the black accents and stuff. So the black top, I went with the black spoiler and the wheels. So I ordered smoked, all the lights are smoked that I ordered. So smoked tail lights, marker lights, and the front corner assemblies. They're all LED, so they should show the colors that they're supposed to legally, just be a smoked color when they're off. So in that box, obviously came with my packing slip. They gave me a sticker. I found a pair of sunglasses in there, and then those other three. So we'll get started on and everything. This is what it looks like to begin with. Then measure corner. So I'm going to try and get started on all this stuff, and we'll see what it looks like when I'm done. So I'll be back with you in a little bit. All right, there they are, hooked up and on. These side marker lights kind of did a sequential start when they fired up. And I just got to install the hyper flash relay. Hopefully that doesn't take too long. All right, everything's in. Hyper flash relays installed. Again, I only did the tail lights and the side markers until I figure out how to do the front corner and do that. I have exhaust ordered. I have night drive TV headlights ordered. That's going to be probably 2 to 5 weeks before I see those. So midsummer we should have those, and we'll get those installed. Apparently it takes about 2 hours. So, and if it's easy to get into the front corner lamps while I have the headlights out for replacement, I'll change those then. If not, I'll try and do them sooner. But one step at a time. I'm hoping the exhaust comes within the next couple weeks. I've got a quick jack, Vevor brand quick jack, but I've got a quick jack style setup coming, so that makes working on everything I have here in the shop easier. So we'll be able to use it on the pickup. We'll be able to use it on the Vette. I can use it on my Avalanche. So that whole story is going to be done. Yeah, so we've got stuff coming. I'm debating. I probably may order an LS6 intake and put on the LS1. Supposedly it gives you about 10 to 20 horsepower to the wheels. So that'd be a bump, a boost, and I guess it'd be a noticeable difference. So we may do that also. But that'll be a winter project. I'm going to have to change probably a harmonic balancer this winter, and I know I've got to get my heater control box rebuilt for the LED lights and the electronics in it. So I've got to save some money for that stuff coming up, but I've got a hazard relay coming because the turn signals don't always work right, but you know, it's just maintenance stuff on a car that's $19.99. So everything else has been great. Love this car so far, having an absolute blast. Completely different experience than the C4. Not saying the C4 is bad, that was fun to drive too, but this is a whole different experience with the room that it has and just the options it has and the fun that it is. Even though my C4 was probably damn near the same horsepower as this, just complete driving experience difference. So thanks for watching. We'll see you later. Have a good one, guys. All right, guys, it's a couple days later after I installed the tail lights, and I couldn't wait. I installed the front markers. Um, and I pulled the car out of the garage so we can look at it. The car is on and running, so we can see how the marker light and that is set up. But here's the final product. Come around, we did the side markers and then the tail lights. So we got that overall smoke theme going. The night drive TV headlights, they say 2 to 5 weeks for making that and shipping that. And then I talked to Billy Boat this morning on the exhaust, and they said within about 4 weeks. So I ordered it on the 17th, so like last week, first part of last week or whatever. Got that ordered, so hopefully by July I'll have all the parts in and we can get the headlights and stuff installed, get the exhaust installed. My quick jacks are supposed to be here today, so I'm waiting on them to show up. We can start using them. That'll come in handy when trying to change that exhaust. So one step at a time. Now I got to decide what I want to do next, whether I want to do an LS6 intake. Do I want to make they make a kit to make those vents function, which I might do, especially if I'm going to autocross. It might help keep the brakes cool. So things here and there, little pieces. The more and more I drive this car versus my C4, the more and more I like it that much better. Don't get me wrong, a C4 is fun and they have their place, but for me the C5 is the king for me. I am a pop-up headlight guy, so if I upgrade, it'll be to a C5 Z06 probably. Not saying that I won't ever go to a C6 or a C7. C7 ZR1 would be nice, but that's a lot of money. So anyways, thanks for watching, guys. We'll see you later, and when the other parts come in, I'll give you updates and we'll get stuff installed and get going. Thanks.